Hello, viewers, and welcome to Winning in Life Academy. It's me, your host, Buki Olukoya. Here on this channel, we learn everything, to do with winning in our finances, winning in time management, winning in our health, winning in our wealth. All aspects of life. Because if you are a believer like me, if you believe in God and His Son Jesus Christ, you will understand and you will know that God wants us to win in every aspect of life. And on this channel, this is what we'll be talking about: how to win in every area of life. So stay tuned with us on this channel and be blessed. One thing I need you to do for me is to click on your subscribe button so that you will be the first to get every new video from us on this channel. You'll be the first to know, and you'll be the first to hear what God is saying about your finances, about your health, about your wealth, about time management, how to do all these things in a godly way. Stay tuned and stay blessed. Hello, viewers, and welcome to Winning in Life podcasts with me, your host, Buki Olukoya. And today I'll be talking about understanding budgeting concepts in the godly way. Understanding budgeting concepts in godly way. So you know the drill already. If you have not clicked that like button, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up even before you dive in. We dive into the video, and also click on the subscribe button. Don't forget, and so that you can be the first to, get our value-filled videos once we drop them. So we'll carry on. So like I said, we're talking about budgeting concepts, understanding budgeting concepts the godly way. So basically what I found about the word budgeting is, number one, it's not common, as in uh, it's not a lot of people's favorite word, as and also it's a very rare word, so we don't like hear it all the time. A lot of people shy away from it because they struggle with it. A lot of people struggle with budgeting, really. All right, so people don't really understand it. You know, a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people struggle with it, and it's not something that we hear. Even if you hear it, it might not be as straightforward for you to do it, as you would like. So also, and I think the main reason for it, I think the main reason why a lot of people shy away from the word budget or budgeting is because the way that it's being explained to us, it's not clear because I've read a lot of books now on finances, and they just tell you, oh, okay, you need to use budgeting for your money. You need to budget your money, and then some of them will even go a bit further to show you maybe what to do, or to tell you what to do and say, okay, look in your bank statements and see where your money is going. So they'll say maybe get the past 3 months bank statements, and look through where you spent your money. What are the things that you spent the money on? And a lot of people are thinking, okay, first of all, where is my payslip? That's first of all. And even if it's online, the pain of having to print it out, well, I mean, some people do, they go ahead to print it out, and then after printing it out, then you have to sit down and start to look through, not just 1 month, but the second month, the third month. and it's really kind of difficult method to do it, because sometimes you might see some of the things that you spend the money on. They might even tell you the name of the shop, but you don't even relate, you don't even connect, you can't even remember what you bought from that shop, or which of the shops is being referred to at that point. So it's very daunting. That's what I'm trying to explain, to the way that we have been taught to go about budgeting is, a very daunting method. And that's why I think a lot of people struggle with it, or they shy away from it, especially a lot of Christians, if I can put it that way. They just, first of all, they are too busy working, their 9 to 5, and then what time do I have to sit down and then be looking through the whole month statements, and then the second month and the third, so it's really daunting for a lot of people. So that's why they don't it's not a day-to-day task for them. It's not even a month-to-month task for a lot of people. It's not in some people's dictionary, if I can put it that way. All right, so today, we'll be looking to understand the concepts of budgeting and what budgeting actually is. And in all the books that I've read, I maybe I haven't read enough, but I've read a lot. I haven't seen anyone that actually define it, like give a definition of what budgeting actually is. I haven't really seen, any book that's done that. So I'm hoping to like do that in this video. And I actually have a book that I have written. Uh, and the way I wrote that book, I wrote it for teens and young adults. When God gave me this concept about budgeting and about money, about, understanding a lot of things about our financial life, I decided to write that book, because I strongly believe that the younger you are, when you understand all these principles and concepts, the better. So the younger you are, when you understand all this, when you understand the budgeting tool, the younger you are, the better for you. The better you'll be in life, to be able to manage your money, even not just money, manage other aspects of life. If you can manage your money, you can manage other aspects of life very well. So that's why it's very important for us to get the concept of money management right. And the earlier you can do that, as a teenager, as a young adult, and as parents, or as a single person, the better. So that's why I've got that book. I'll see if I can link the link, so you can get it on Amazon. I titled it Money Principles for Teenagers. You can get it on Amazon. You can just type the title in Amazon and you will get it. Or I'll also put the link in this video so that you can order it, because it talks about the foundation, the main foundation of managing your money, what budgeting is, what's other, how to manage other things, other aspects of life. It really goes into the foundation of the things that you need to understand about money. So I'll put the link in this video. Please click on it and get a copy. Especially if you have children. You have children from 13. Please, I beg you, start to teach them about money tools like budgeting. They need to understand a lot of aspects to money. So they need to even know what is money. What is it? Money is not the paper that we hold in our hands. It's not the notes that we spend every day. That's not money. Money is more than that. So I don't want to say it's a person. It's not a person, but it's got personality to it. So we need to understand what is money, and then what relationship do we need to have with money? How do we treat money? You understand? So we need to understand it as a tool. So best thing to get that book, and you understand what the point I'm trying to make. All right, so we carry on in today's understanding budgeting. All right, so basically, the first thing you need to understand is the correct concept of budgeting, the correct concept of budgeting. And I've put it here to say that budgeting, is simply naming your money, naming your money and giving your money a purpose. So this is the way God helped me to see it, to see the definition for budgeting. It's simply naming your money and giving your money a purpose, um, well before you earn it. So you name your money and you give it a purpose in advance before you actually receive it. So already you're expecting it. You know you're going to be getting that money. You know you're going to be paid maybe at the end of the week or at the end of the month. So your task is to plan towards it and say, okay, let me give my money a name and let me give it a purpose of what it's going to do for me when I get it. Yeah. So that concept, I believe it came from Genesis, when God created the animals, and then he asked Adam to give them a name them, whatever you call them, that's what they'll be. That's what they, you know. So you name it and give it a purpose, So that's one aspect of the budgeting concept. And also is simply saying that, okay, this amount of money will be used for A, and that amount of money will be used for B. So that act of allocating the purpose, the task that your money is going to do for you. So that's the second concept. So it's basically saying, okay, this amount of money will be used for this, and that amount of money will be used for this. So are you starting to get the concept of budgeting? All right. And then also, yeah. So because you already know the things that you need, for example, if I tell you to make a list of everything that you need, you know what you need. And if you're a family person, married with children, you know what the family needs. So you already know the things that you guys need. Maybe like food shopping, water bill, light bill. We all know the things that we need, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. So you already know those things. So you make that list. You make that list of all the things that you need, and then, after making that list, you then need to ask yourself, okay, we're going to do food shopping, this week. And the next question will be, how much? How much do we need to do the food shopping? So, for example, if you have going to restaurants or eating out on the list, your next question will be, how much? How much is that going to cost? All right. Yeah. So your next question will be, how much is that going to cost? For example. And so budgeting basically is that planning. It's the planning ahead. So you're expecting your money to pay, and you decided to plan ahead, for your money. So that's budgeting. Deciding to plan ahead, you know, for your money, and to give it a name and a purpose. So taking that time to sit down and say, okay, we're expecting this so amount at the end of the month, and these are the things that we need to do this month. You understand? And then just say, okay, for this one, how much do we think it's going to cost us to do this? How much is it going to cost us to do that? And how much is it going to cost us us to do C? And you allocate that amount of money to all those activities. And there's a way that I've learned to do it now. in percentages as well. So, but the part we're talking about here is the spending part. So your spending money, you have to budget it. If I don't know if you watch my previous video, I think that I titled it "What God Told Me About My Finances." What God told me about my finances, and in there I talked about the four pillars of 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 your financial life, really, as a Christian, as a child of God, the four pillars of your financial life. And the third pillar was spending. So most of us, all we know about money is to, spend it, pay our bills, pay for this, pay for that, get that done. That's that. We only know about the third pillar. I was even saying that my money mindset growing up was that third one. That pillar number three. Whereas there's pillar number one, there's pillar number two, and then the third pillar, which is spending, and then there's still pillar number four, which is investing. So you need to go and get that video to understand the whole concept of your financial life being whole. As a child of God, our financial life needs to be whole. So I'll also put the link in somewhere in this video as well for you to watch it. So the third pillar is what I'm discussing today. So the spending of our money, what the portion that we've allocated for spending, that portion needs to be budgeted. It's not just in your mind. No, no. Yes, you know the things that you want, that the family wants, um, in your mind, but it's not just in your mind. Yes, you know the things that the family wants, but you have to put it down on the paper, on a piece of paper. If you have, I don't know, jotter, journal, templates, you need to write down those things. And that reminds me, actually, there's a template that I created for budgeting. I'll see if I can put in the link as well. It's just to help us with, weekly budgeting, monthly budgeting. Add it to the list. Add it to the list. You write the general list of the things that you need, and then you write the core needs, and then the essential needs. And so we all know the things that we need. So we write it down and then we budget for it. Okay. So the third pillar is budgeting for the things that we need. Also, yep. So the correct application of budgeting is what I want to talk about next. So the first place to start is to, like I said, write down the core needs, and then write down the core needs are things like maybe your mortgage, your rent, um, gas and electric, those things, water, those are the core that okay, in the house you need them. So those ones, you can't decide to maybe cancel and say, oh, I'm not getting them this time. No, they are core. So you need to factor them in first. And then the second is the second is the essentials. The essential they're like things like your subscriptions. So like your monthly subscription, like maybe your phone line, your mobile, all the TV stations that you subscribe to and things like that. So those ones, the essentials, are things that you can maybe look to cancel if need be, depending on your circumstance, your financial circumstance. But it's step by step. So you just list out the cause, list out the essentials, and make provisions for them. And another thing I will advise you to do is to set up direct debits for those calls. and those essentials. But the essentials you will need to analyze whether you really need them at this time. Okay, so but we'll get there. So yeah, so that's that about you know application of budgeting, and then the correct just to buttress the definition of budgeting again. So it's the planning ahead before you actually receive the money, before you hand the money. So you're expecting the money, you've worked for it, you know it's going to be paid at the end of the month, your salary or your profit, or if you're doing business and things like that. So you plan ahead for it. You plan ahead for it, and that planning ahead before you receive the money, and that act of giving each allocation of your money a name and a purpose, of what it's going to do for you, and to also use it for that exact purpose that you've written down, that you've stated that it's going to be used for. That is budgeting. That is budgeting. All right. And I believe this is what everyone should have been taught from from secondary school at least. I believe it's something that we're supposed to have been, it's supposed to have been driven into us since we're, teens. This concept of budgeting, naming our money, giving our money a purpose of what it's going to do for us. You know, we're supposed to be so familiar with budgeting. It's supposed to be a common word. Oh, did you budgeted for that? you know like friends talking, and you maybe you just mentioned, oh, I just bought that nice shirt or that nice jeans. Your friend should be like, oh, did you budgeted for that? So that, yeah, so your friend should be asking, did you budgeted for that? And so we carry on. So every other thing apart from your core and your essential needs are secondary. They are what? They are what? Secondary. Every other thing apart from your core needs, your essential needs, all the other stuff that you may need or want. Should I say want? Yeah. They are all secondary stuff. And the secondary stuff will need to be, prioritized. Prioritized. So that's where the word prioritization comes in. You have to prioritize. So you put them on the list, but then you prioritize them, and that's where delayed gratification also comes in. So you might have to wait till next month before you can get them. So you put them on the list and you keep checking it. Tick tick. Once you get them, you tick them off. It might be a pair of trainers, it might be jeans, it might be something that you've been eyeing for a long time that you wanted to get. Maybe it's on sales, things like that. Just add it to the list, and after you've done the core and the essentials, and then see if you can get them that month, or you have to delay to the following month, in order to get them. All right. So then, the another part of the budgeting concept, I think this is like the fourth part now, is that, if your core needs, if they and your necessities, if they amount to 50% of your income, of your earnings, then that is a very good position to be, because that means you have the remaining 50% to fulfill the other pillars that I talked about in my previous video. Please get it and watch it. And also, if you read the money principles for teenager, you will also get it. So you will have the 50% to do those other aspects. Um, and then if your core and your essential spending comes to like 70% of your earning, that's still not, it's not too bad. That's okay. You still have 30% to do the other important stuff. And but if your core and your essentials are coming to the total of your household income, then that's where you need to worry. You need to worry, and you need to start looking at other ways to make more income. into your pot, into your bank account. You need to look for other ways to make more income into the family. All right. So that's just that. And then the final part of this whole get understanding budgeting concepts. The final part is the most important, and that is discipline. Discipline. You know, discipline. The discipline for you to stick to your plan, stick to your word. Stick to your principles. That you already know about finances, or that you'll be learning in this video and my other videos. Stick to those godly principles. Be disciplined. So if you've already planned ahead, say, okay, this amount will be used for this purpose, and this amount will be used for that purpose. Make sure you use this amount for this purpose, and make sure that you use that amount for that purpose. So that's the purpose of budgeting. That's how your budgeting can get strong and effective, can become an effective tool, for you to win in your money, to win in your spending, to win in your finances, in your financial life generally. So budgeting is a very good tool to have. You don't even have to have money problem before you start using budgeting as a tool in your money, in your finances. I think it shows the level of our money education, and that's not even given in schools. So that's why God laid it on my mind to teach these principles, to talk about these topics, for us as children of God, to understand the concepts properly. When we understand it properly, then we'll be able to apply it, and apply it easily, use it easily. So budgeting is not from the back. He's not going to look through statement. It's you deciding from the beginning what your money is going to do for you, what your money is going to be used for, what you want your money to do for you. So decide that from the beginning, and then stick to that. Stick to that plan, and things will go accordingly. you know and if you realize that, oh, maybe you might not be able to do some of the things that you've written down, then that's a prompt for you to look for other avenues where you can bring in more income, to meet your budget for the week, for the month, and so on and so forth. So I hope you really gain value. A bit of apology for me being distracted a bit, but I hope I've been able to explain it to you clearly. The budgeting concept in godly way. And I hope to see you in the next video. Stay blessed, and don't forget to subscribe and to like. God bless you as you do that.